Hi everyone, good morning. It's Victoria from Ask the Angels. I've been so heartened by some of the most beautiful messages that I've received from some of you thanking me for these daily readings, or the readings that I'm doing, and saying how much it's helping you. And you know that the reason I'm doing it is because I feel it's something that I should do to support. Not as in you must do, but when I look at my role in the fact that I can't necessarily do what I was doing before with customers coming, clients coming, then for me, it helps me be spiritually well by looking at how can I give back and what things can I do. And one of the things that I can do, because I'm so lucky and grateful that my mum is here too, and she's downstairs with my 5-year-old at the moment, is to come up to my room when I feel I would like to, and to pull a card or to do a reading or something like that. So this morning I was drawn to 3 decks again, which is interesting. Different decks. One of them I've never used in an online reading before, although it's a beautiful deck of cards. So I'll share those with you. The first deck of cards was this one by Holland, the Psychic Tarot, and this is the card that looks at physical, which is quite interesting because it was physical yesterday, wasn't it, with the Earth suit from the Angel Tarot that we looked at yesterday. And this card is about a firm foundation, and the card talks about the fact that actually you've already got, or you're working on having a solid foundation, whether that's in your job that you're doing, or whether that's in your business, or building your home or your growth or learning or whatever. And so it's saying that focus on the fact that you have built already this firm foundation. And although there might be worries for you around that fact, perhaps you're not working, perhaps there's less work for you at the moment, given the current situation. And so it's saying those foundations that you've laid, focus on that and be in that energy. And it's saying, don't let your current situation determine who you are, or the fears or worries that you have around that. And just remember to be in that space of law of attraction, and also looking at the fact that we've got true spiritual wealth as well, haven't we, rather than also physical. And it's asking you to be flexible with the ebb and flow of how things are going at the moment, and trusting that the foundation that you laid before all of this stuff happened was solid. And so trusting in that and just going with the flow, not holding on to things too tightly through fear, allowing the ebb and flow of the energy to shift and change as it does with these things that we've got going on in our lives. The second deck of cards is this. I love this deck of cards by Colette Baron-Reid. It's the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle cards. And this was one of the marker cards that I was given this morning when I pulled. It's number 42. And the card is Perception, which is really interesting again, isn't it? Because this is saying that it's asking you to ask yourself, through what eyes are you looking at the world? Through what eyes are you looking at your current situation? Is it through eyes of worry or fear, or is it through eyes of positivity and trust? So it's saying, it's also asking you to look at how are you looking through the eyes of other people. Maybe are you being a little bit judgmental? Are you judging other people? Are you being prejudiced? Are you being unloving? Are you being unkind? So it's calling for objectivity, and it's calling for a willingness for you to examine your life and other people's lives through more neutral eyes, and to be more loving. So to kind of separate between that ego and the physical and the spiritual, because as we know, things aren't always how they appear. Somebody's situation is never how it is. We never really know the true story, and honestly, it's not our business. One of the things that I've learned in spirituality, and this doesn't mean that I'm completely non-judgmental, but I constantly try to come back to the point of, if it's not my business, it's their business and God's business. And by God, I mean a spiritual kind of version. I don't mean any kind of religious God. It's either God's business or it's their business. It certainly isn't my business if it's nothing to do with me. So it's about that perception being everything. And until you can see things in a better light, or without those glasses that you're wearing, or changing the glasses that you're wearing, and maybe seeing how what you're learning or what you're seeing applies to your own situation, and maybe how you need to shift your perception, then maybe that's all you need to do. Or in taking a course of action, maybe wait and look at it and change your look at it. Maybe you're not looking at it in the right way. Maybe you're coming at it from a place of fear or of reaction, and not necessarily from a place of calm or trust in the overflowing of the spiritual support that we've got, or in the lessons or whatever that it is that we can learn. So our perception is everything, is what this card is saying, from what's happening to us to how we're seeing other people, and how then we can translate that into using that in our own lives. And then the last deck of cards, I was drawn to choose two from this. And this is a beautiful deck that I know I've never used on these recordings. I do sometimes feel drawn to using these with clients. They're the Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards by Tori Hartman. And they're based on the 7 chakras. And interestingly, I pulled 2 cards. I pulled one that was from the base chakra, that's red in its surrounding, and one from the crown chakra, which for me is really interesting. And they're both really connected with each other, all of these cards that we've had today. So I'll show you just in order that they are in the deck. This first one that I got from the chakra of the base chakra, so it's kind of red, where we're talking about our grounding, our foundation, our home, security, our fears, relationships, people around us, that type of thing, is discovery. I'll read you these, because with every single one of these cards comes a story. It's like a folk story, if you like, about the person who's in the card. So this person who's in the card is Pink from Pinkton, and the card is saying, I am more than I think I am. The legend that goes with this card, it says, life is easy for young Pink. He takes his gifts for granted until one day he loses Petunia, the love of his life, forcing him on an inner journey. He works hard on himself, hoping for another chance that doesn't come. In desperation, he consults Sky God and learns that Petunia is incapable of receiving his love. Pink recognizes that Petunia's role in his life has been to expand his capacity to love. So the card is asking you a few questions. It's asking you, are you happy in your current situation? How are you benefited from it? What healing perhaps needs to be addressed? And what awareness is being brought up for you through this card and through this journey that we're going on? It's asking you to leave the past behind and to be ready for a new adventure, moving into a new level of self-care and inquiry about yourself, and really looking at the past and how things have gone, and are they impacting you presently? And are you struggling with a difficult situation? And therefore, maybe what commitment or journeying or uplifting do you need to do in order to support you with moving into this new place of discovery? And what can you take from past situations and struggles that you've gone through in order for you to grow and evolve as well? These are really lovely cards, aren't they? And then this card, this is the last card, so there are 4 today, is impartiality. And this is from the crown chakra, so our higher knowing, our connection with that higher source, and ultimately us tapping into what the bigger picture is for us from a whole perspective with regards to our life and our journeying here. And with this card, it says, I listen quietly, allowing you to colour your own palette. And the legend that comes with this card, it says, Bahana is the wise dictator from the town of Beige. She is known for settling disputes fairly. One day, 2 neighbours are arguing about what colour to paint their fence. Bahana gives each of them a can of paint and instructs them to paint their side of the fence the colour that the other neighbour wants. She knows that when they colour their world in the love of their neighbour's eyes, they will understand and accept each other. So this card is calling on you to look at things from an impartial perspective. And the action for us here is to listen and to observe. So asking you to step back from your current situation. And if you do that, if you step back with impartiality and with the eyes of your neighbour and with the love of other people, actually, what do you then see? And can you be neutral? Can you be removed from your emotions and from your reactions of certain things too? And it's saying, by us being in a neutral position, then we can allow things to unfold and we can stand in someone else's shoes and see things from their perspective, and we can be uplifted in our communication, we can be more open-minded, we can be more fair, and then ultimately we can help to guide others too. So I hope those cards have helped. Sending you loads of love on this Friday. It's been a bit of a long one today. I've chosen a reading as well from The Universe Has Got Your Back. I'll do that in another recording now, so you're not listening to me droning on, so you can decide whether you want to fast forward or listen or whatever. But I'm sending you loads of love on this Friday. I hope you're all well. I shall be back soon, definitely. Thank you so much for your messages and for your comments. I really appreciate it. And sending you lots of love. Take care, everyone. Bye.